Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, I believe God has kept you well, and this is a time for us to rejoice, uh, design African solutions on the Africa's continent, but also borrowing a leaf from experts, those who have made it, and those who are, soaring to greater heights. We tap into their wealth of experience, tap into the wealth of knowledge. And tonight, I'm bringing you before you an expert all the way from Russia. He's a Ugandan Russian, and right now he's pursuing his PhD all the way from St. Petersburg in Russia. We've known this gentleman, and of course we are carrying out activities together. Their company and our company is into a certain agreement. So we look forward to learn a lot from them, but also even you, while they are the fellow Africans. We always bring you these kind of exposures to ignite your fire, to ignite what you started or what you look. Maybe the solution is hidden in these videos. So subscribe, make sure that you watch, follow all our conversations. Pick out, we are like giving you a fish, then pick out the meat, don't take the bones. So that's the model. Pick out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, leave it for someone else, and then we gonna elevate. Our mission is to empower 1 million people plus in Africa through this kind of discussions. Thank you so much. Tonight, I am here with me, Mr. Tony Sebagala. Hi, Tony, you're welcome.
Hello, thank you so much, Metro Plus, Daniel.
I know, tell us, who is Tony?
Yeah, first and foremost, my name is Tony Mayambala Sebagala, and I'm very privileged to be here.
Okay.
I'm a student, I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur, and a very good person that has been living in Russia for about 10 years.
So how do you say hello or good evening in Russian?
So in Russia we say привет, depending on the time.
Привет.
Yeah. In the morning we say привет, доброе утро. We say добрый день during the afternoon hours. And we say добрый вечер in the evening.
Добрый вечер.
Fast forward behind, I went to Russia around 2014 after my senior 6 year.
You've been that long in Russia?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
why of all countries you decided to go to Russia?
Russia. So I come from a multicultural background. My mom is Ukrainian.
Okay.
So she has some Russian roots. Because Ukraine was a former Soviet country.
I know something of Ukraine, Russia, something.
Yes. Despite the fact that what's going on right now,
the two brothers are fighting.
Yeah, they're just rubbing their shoulders, but hopefully everything will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and my dad is a Ugandan. So,
why didn't you go to Ukraine? Why did you choose Russia?
So what happened is I was seeking a mechanical engineering degree.
Okay.
And I had some options, but Russia somehow resonated with me because first I didn't know the language. I had been born and I was raised here. So I was exposed to the African culture.
Okay.
And when time came, I had to make a decision. So that decision was I really needed to catch up with my mother roots. So that's one of the factors that led me to go to Russia. And also its industrial history was really quite impressive to me. Comparing with other countries, I realized that it would be a much better option for me to go learn the language and adapt to the culture over there. So that's why I went to Russia.
Wow. So tell us, what are you up to in Russia? What courses are you running there?
Yeah.
Because I discovered that you really invested a lot in education.
Yes.
You've owned master's degrees,
Yes.
2 of them, and also a PhD.
Yes.
So how have you managed to master all that?
So I'll run through my timeline really quick. When I went to Russia, I was very athletic. So if for those that know,
2014.
yes, before that I was participating in lots of sports, basketball and so forth. So
You have your brother from Burundi, he's also a basketballer.
yes,
He loves basket.
yeah.
Mm.
So I went with an intent also to play basketball. So when I arrived in Russia, I had a very big challenge, and that was my mechanical engineering degree. So I had to cut out on the sports while I really engaged in mechanical engineering.
You focus.
I really focused on that, yeah. And around my second year, I started to get the trading buzz, like many of you, and I was looking for a way to to earn some money at the time, and I happened to land on a few communities in Russia that were doing trading. That's also when Bitcoin was doing well. It was starting to rise really well, and lots of other crypto. So I got the buzz, and I started to DIY, right? Do your by yourself. So I did all the studying, I did all the reading while doing my mechanical engineering degree. And I was given an opportunity to work in one of the brokerage companies.
Okay.
Because
that was 20?
That was about 2016, 17.
Okay.
Yes. Because of my expertise, by going through all the literature on internet, I don't want to say all of it, but I was lucky enough to filter through the mud. Yeah. So I eventually worked for this company. I won't mention the names, but I was a financial analyst.
Okay.
Because in Russia, they have a problem with English. So I was very fortunate to kind of have both skills.
You can speak Russian?
Yes.
And also English?
Exactly. So I started going into financial analysis.
So knowing other languages is something that is taking people places, right?
Yes.
Please go and learn French, learn Russian, learn English, learn even Chinese.
Yeah, so me trying to translate and get people very insightful financial analytics was very important. It was very helpful for me because I worked there for a short while, and then I really got very fortunate, and I came across a very, very good mentor who started to direct me on the right path, because I was very curious how trading works. Majority of people out there, after going through that buzz and looking through the internet and parroting all the YouTube videos, and you look, I was not satisfied. I really wanted to understand what really makes the market move. So alongside my mentor, I realized that I really need to get into the industry now.
Okay.
So that's when I started doing my master's parallel to the mechanical engineering. So I went into digital finance.
Okay.
Yes.
So while pursuing your master's,
yes,
you also went into digital financing.
Yes.
Understand how money is generated, and also how financing works.
Exactly.
Were you investing in Russian-based projects, or also in Africa back home?
So my mentor was American, and I had my bias with local securities, and I was molded right from the beginning to focus on a few instruments. So I don't have a basket of instruments. My goal is to focus on a few and master them very well, because later on, as I found out while I went deeper into this whole financial journey, I started to understand that things are not what they really are.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I was also fortunate enough, I left that brokerage company. I went into another brokerage company. Now I was doing back
How are you juggling the two? You're studying here, I know probably studies take half your day, and also on the other hand, you must run for career.
Thank you for that question. I always tell people a day has 24 hours. And if you really want something, you're going to find all kinds of ways to get that.
Okay.
If it means having 2 hours of sleep or napping throughout the day, you'll find a way, right? Yeah. So after that, I worked at the back end. Now I'm working with programmers on my side.
Wait a minute. You're a mechanical engineer?
Yes.
You're a programmer?
No, I wasn't doing programming. I learned a few languages, just coding simple strategies. But now I'm working with side by side with a whole programming team.
Okay.
For a crypto exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, many of you might know it. La Token. It's
yeah, we know La Token.
Yes. With
it comes from Russia.
Yes, it's a Russian company. And I was a liquidity manager, and I was responsible for managing. I had a whole team, and we were starting to get really serious about market making. So I was heading a market making desk for one of the basket of instruments that we had, and I was very fortunate enough to quickly, go through all these different points.
Jargons, yes.
Yes, in my career. And prior to that, I also worked for an Asian-based brokerage company. That was a year. I've been 10 years in Russia, so you can imagine. I've just trying to run through all that. And there I was heading the Asian session.
Okay.
I had a team under me. I was involved in risk management. That was my my role. Yes. So fast forward, I left the crypto exchange, and I decided to take things by myself. I started to fully immerse myself into a PhD, which I'm currently doing.
Awesome.
Yes, the PhDs. I'm majoring in the development of brokerage digital companies and new sorts of financial structures.
And that's where my question is coming from.
Yes.
Tony, you're so young for that kind of exposure. Do you think that why didn't you take your course, the course that you are studying, back home in Uganda? That is one question. Then number two, how do you relate that kind of exposure? Being that in that short period of time you've really worked with many international agencies, and you're pursuing your PhD at here. Someone to become runs a PhD program, you must be very old.
Yeah. So
how do you relate the two?
Thank you for
that African
question.
Setting and also.
So that's a stigma, first of all, saying I'm actually very old. By my age, I know people that are doing 3 PhDs, 2 PhDs. So,
but not in Africa.
Not in Africa. Well, maybe some Africans.
Not in Africa. I've not seen any in our universities around here, someone at your age running for 3 PhDs.
Because people usually join campus by 17,
In Uganda?
Where? In Russia.
Here maybe 25?
Yeah. So my trigger came in, yes, back to your question. Why I didn't pursue mechanical engineering till the end? Well, I finished mechanical engineering, and the goal was to come to Uganda and try to develop the manufacturing industry. So my background also, my family is into manufacturing, and my mom is an engineer.
Okay.
So I always had that mindset of making some
She's into?
Engineering.
Engineering,
Yes.
okay.
So from childhood, I've been an inventor. I've been, trying to innovate.
So engineering works have been going around you, and you had that aspiration.
Yes. So my plan was to finish, come down and get into the gear of manufacturing.
Yes.
That's industries, you know, we have so much potential in Uganda
Yeah.
for manufacturing. But I came down and I tried to kind of weigh my options, and I realized very fast that we're in a very dynamic world,
Oh, yes.
and there are much better ways to establish yourself first, because manufacturing is a very, very heavy industry. You need
capital intense.
Yes, you need a lot of capital to engage in different sorts of machinery, equipment, and here I am. I'm getting an easy source of legal income. I was always looking for a legal way to make a buck. So I decided, you know what, I need to pursue this education because it will lead me into these institutions that I was aiming for. So yes, fortunately also I joined a startup, a portfolio, a hedge fund in Dubai, and I helped initially with the...
So in Dubai, were you working remotely, or you had to fly from Russia to Dubai?
Yeah, thank God the sanctions came down, and we had an agreement where I'd virtually work online.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's my sort of background, and how I came in contact with you. So while I'm there, I happened to meet a fellow PhD who had a company, a startup. So we were into making startups.
Oh, yes.
So I've tried so many startups.
Oh, yes.
Mainly education startups. So this colleague of mine, a dear friend, we partnered and we started a startup. It was also called Digital Word. It was very focused on educative supply.
Yeah.
Yes, we were trying to help the Russians achieve their international goals of work. And surprisingly, this friend of mine connected me to another friend. And this friend lives in Canada. We became very good friends. And he was also running a startup by the time. And I kind of realized that there was a very big need for this same idea and concept to bring down to Uganda.
Yes.
So I thought really quick, and I sat both of these guys down, and I said, you know what, we're in tech, we're in a very beautiful time. Africa really needs us. So I pitched and I requested them to come down to Africa, and we chose Uganda.
Awesome.
So this is how I came down to Uganda with this global startup.
Yeah.
That's connected with youth employability.
Please tell us, because that's where we're going right now.
Yeah.
I know, let me start from the education background. Our African education system, of all times, we've discovered that the relevant skills of what the labor market requires as of late, right now, you cannot find them in our syllabuses. I am not saying that the education syllabuses in Africa are dead. No, please quote me right. And I encourage young people to go for them. But what the labor market requires as of now, you can't find them in our syllabuses. So you've chose to go for them, and you've really gotten a platform where to exercise them. That is one. Number two, when you look at the economic drivers of the world, we talk about the digital skills, youth employability, things to do with green technology, many others. I can't exhaust all of them, but what problem are you solving in the youth employability? I see a lot of unskilled labor force leaving Africa, leaving Uganda, going to the Middle East, and they go there for cheyo.
Yeah.
Could be knowing cheyo.
Yeah.
Casual work.
Hustling. They call it hustling. Right?
Hustling. You go
Yeah.
for casual work. But when you look at countries like India, they're exporting skilled labor force.
Yeah.
They don't even to go to UAE
Yeah.
or Canada or US. They work remotely. They sit in India, Gujarat. They sit in different areas and they provide solutions. Even in Uganda here, we have a lot of solutions, but their back end is in India.
Yeah.
What are you solving where is the problem and what are you solving as
Great.
Play for Work?
That's a very good question. Huh? So, as you can see, I had a mechanical engineering background, but it was so hard to get jobs.
Yes.
And I asked myself, what's happening to this industry? Where's the problem? And it turns out the problem is in digitalization. Okay, so
digitalization.
yes, we're in a new era of.
Do you think that Uganda is ready for digitalization?
I think Uganda is ready in some spheres, in some aspects, but overall we have a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Yes. We're always lagging, but I think that's up to us, the younger generation, with lots of exposure and potential to come down and create awareness in these different areas.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we're definitely lagging, and this Play for Work Uganda comes down with this same idea of education. We're a vocational sort of institute, as you may call it,
Okay.
that's focused on youth employability, using gamification, and all backed up by blockchain.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So, what are you solving?
So we are solving a simple problem. We have a very big issue of skilled labor force in Uganda.
Okay.
The very little percentage that we all know that travel overseas, and we have unskilled labor. But we have a very big challenge of soft skills, expertise, and credentials to reach the international level, where
yes.
these companies are now looking for not just skilled expertise people, but people with that have all these other requirements and qualifications. Yeah. So we are really involved in looking out for people through these tools that we create, and are definitely gamified. So this platform and this ecosystem that I'm trying to build here will enable anyone from mainly business and tech to come down and show us what kind of skills they have, and with a return they'll be able to market themselves to companies that are looking for these talents.
Okay, so do you already have some talents? I mean, some companies in mind that are looking for particular talents?
Yes, we do. We're very fortunate enough as well to partner with very big institutions and teams in Myanmar, in Asia. We have teams in the US. We have teams literally almost everywhere. But these three main partners of mine, one based in Asia and the other in Canada, we are able to outsource and provide companies with trustworthy talents through Play for Work, and in turn these companies will be able to identify. We have very good exposure. We have access to many companies that are looking out for these people.
So for example, let me give an example of myself. Let me say I'm a young person who has come up from universities, and I feel that I've studied something, but I am unemployed.
Yeah.
And the skills I have, I feel there's something that is maybe lacking somewhere. How do I come to Play for Work, and then how am I, get well immersed with the ecosystem, and at the end of the day, do I go with a skill and you connect me to a job somewhere?
Yeah, so our system is designed in a way that it enables a student, say your student from university just graduated, to tap into the right industry, to get the right mentors, experts, to literally work hand in hand with these.
Okay, so you have the experts.
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
Yeah. To engage in these tools we call games, and try to showcase their skills. So if he doesn't have a skill, we have vocational training as well.
Okay.
And most of it is online. We have different teams in Russia. We have experts in almost majority of the industries, but we're focusing right now on tech and business, because as you know, tech is taking over the world.
Exactly.
So we can identify these talents and take them on and onboard them through companies that identify them. Of course, we won't be doing the groundwork, but we hope eventually with more collaborations with companies like Metro Plus, institutions, university institutions, to identify these people and onboard them. So they perform projects, they do all sorts of work. We have different sorts of time frames, and eventually they get plugged in on the other side.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's really amazing, because you're contributing to the economy through empowering the young people with jobs. And then at the end of the day, they earn in forex, foreign exchanges.
Yeah.
So they're able to spend money. They work remotely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I must commend you for that.
Thank you.
How do you intend to roll it out, and how many people are you looking at in the first, let's say, 1 year and 2 years time?
Yes, so because we're a very...
they're listening to you. You may find out that they're going to register thousands.
So we're a global company.
Yes.
And Play for Work Uganda focuses once again on youth employability.
Yes.
We would like to have as many talents out there as possible. We want to spread in all industries, ranging from agriculture. We want to spread even in art, entertainment. We have a Masai project on the way, coming very soon. We want to tap into as many people on the extreme side. Okay. Extreme poverty. We want to get those people because they have talents. We want to check out the sports industry as well, but this is all with time.
Yeah.
So in the coming year, we would like to have easily 1,000 skilled talents
in the tech area.
In the tech area, being taken out and getting real good jobs, because companies entrust. Are you
really promising that the jobs are going to be there?
Yes. There's a very
because even 1,000 people, you may register them in 1 week, 1 day.
Yes. So there's a very big problem with companies abroad. They're spending a lot of money paying skilled the skilled market, and instead of having like one lead, they have so many leads in different departments. So it's easier for them to train cheaper talent, get them into their companies and save a lot.
Awesome.
So we have access to these companies. We have very good exposure, and all they're asking is, please, we need very trustworthy talent. We want people that are skilled, who understand what they're doing. Yeah, just bring them on. We'll train them. We'll onboard them, and we're trying to solve this problem of companies spending a lot of money.
Awesome. I hope whoever is there and you're aspiring in the tech industry, you've heard that there are many jobs out there and there are many ICT solutions to be provided out. So this program has come, Play for Work. It's a company that is attached to a global company. Please find yourself, register. I know we have a partnership, of course, going on with Metro Plus.
Yeah.
Where we look for to equip a lot of young people in our ecosystem so that they go for such jobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
We are also we are currently working on a hackathon.
Okay.
And
Talk about the hackathon.
yes,
Yes.
a hackathon or a symposium, depending on what comes really quicker. But we are partnering with companies locally, like Metro
Yes.
Plus, to come up with some sort of topics, mainly in tech, in digitalization, innovation, Africa's youth employability, and we will be running these sorts of tours with top experts from all over the world as well.
Oh yes.
So you can get an opportunity to join in and see your mentor to be, and you can end up getting some sort of onboarding session with him, and you can in turn get a job later on.
Wow, that's really amazing. But on contrary on that, what's your thoughts? You as a, let's say, a rich kid who has been in Africa and also Europe. How pressure is in Europe?
Part of it.
Part of it.
We have a number of time zones because
Okay.
it's very big. So
You've been to Russia,
yeah,
the Soviet Union, and also you've been to Asia, which is Singapore and Dubai.
yeah,
You've also I've had a chance to live here before.
yeah.
How do you relate? What could be your advice to a young person who is below the age of 30? He has just started life, maybe after school. How do you advise them? And what type of things do you see in Africa that needs to be redefined?
So first and foremost, Africa is a very blessed land. Those of you out there who think going abroad is the only way to make it in life are far from wrong. Africa is really blessed with climate, with good food, we have good landscape, we have everything that it takes to make our individual countries prosper. So a person out there...
So how do you get it wrong?
Yes. First and foremost, you need to change your mindset. The mindset in Africa is the leading cause of not just degradation, but underdevelopment.
Okay.
The mindset that I'm talking about is a developmental mindset.
Okay.
Yes, and you're not to blame. The person deep down in the village is not to blame. Of course, all institutions have to come together. The government has to come together. The people have to... Companies like Metro Plus that help in changing that mindset paradigm are very important and vital in the development stage.
Awesome.
Yes, so the person out there who is under 30 and would like a very bright, successful path, number one, once you engage in that transformation process of the mindset by reaching out to opportunities like this, reaching out to digitalized companies that have come, that are innovative, think out of the box, get out of that old way of thinking, and try to enhance yourself with some skills that are up to date.
Okay. So what we really like, I mean, what you're saying that what we need to work on is the mindset.
Yes.
And then number two, the skill set.
Yes.
Relevant skills that can take us to another level.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, as we are summarizing, maybe I know you are an open-minded guy, and for the few maybe period of time we've been together, you've interacted, and I've seen the sense of direction that we need to take.
Yeah.
Not as Ugandans, but also as Africans. What is your message to the Africans in the diaspora about Africa and Uganda, maybe?
So I do understand that the majority of the Africans in the diaspora are running away from Africa, are running away from their own countries, because maybe they have a better standard of living out there, but it takes two people to... Two heads are better than one, right? So it takes those people to understand that by running away from Africa, we're not solving the problem. The problem is only solved when we openly discuss. That means coming down and trying to change you start with yourself, you try to change the people around you. Of course, not in a way that will cause conflict, but I mean, it comes down to the mindset. Try and come down and invest in the youth, invest in programs, invest in infrastructure. Don't save all your money and do something. Come down, we have very cheap labor. So in that kind of regard, you need to understand the market that you're dealing with within Uganda and Africa in general. So just come down, don't be shy. I mean, don't fear risk. No one's going to kill you when you come down here, because you get foreigners out there saying, I can't come down, there's a lot of hate, there's all kinds of things you hear. So they just need to leave that and try, because at the end of the day, it's Africa. This is where you were born, so you need to try and add a brick, yes, to the development.
Wow, that's amazing. So for those of you who have just joined in, we are with Tony Sebagala. Tony is pursuing his PhD at the University of
Peter the Great Polytechnic University.
Yeah, St. Petersburg. And he's a gentleman who has served in different disciplines for the past 10 years. He has worked with many financial companies, institutions, and also crypto exchanges. So kindly follow him and learn a lot from what he does. We are in partnership with them as a team with Greg and the rest.
Yeah.
We really look forward to bring this idea of Play for Work as MicroPlus family and the Nile One ecosystem to you. What are we solving? One, the skill set, because that's a challenge that we are having right now. Then number two, youth and employability. So we want to combat those two with relevant skills and then connecting you to the relevant companies that are interested in those skills.
Yeah.
We look forward to have you once again.
Thank you so much.
Maybe in your last remarks, you can speak to the people.
It was a pleasure being with MetroPlus here today. I would like to encourage all the youth out there not to give up.
Okay.
There is a plethora of opportunity. You need to take everything in your own hand and be open-minded.
Probably they're saying that maybe your family could afford your travels to Russia.
Mind you, I was majority of the time I was on a scholarship. So again, look out for these opportunities. There are lots of scholarships out there that majority of people don't know. Be inquisitive, okay? Don't be dull. Try to engage in people.
The curiosity model.
Exactly. Try to be ambitious. Look out for opportunities, because if you don't knock on the door, the teacher will never open for you. Never open for you. There's a Bible verse that talks about that. I think it can resonate with the people down here. So stay strong and optimistic about the future. The future lies in your hands, and Africa is a very big potential coming.
Well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we'll bring you more and more of these episodes to keep you in the know and also shaping what you really know, because at the end of the day, the future lies in your hands. The way how you use this information, that's the way how you're going to be changed. God bless you. Let's meet at the top.
Thank you.